The summer of 1518 arrives in Strasbourg with suffocating heat. The Rhine River flows sluggishly past city walls, its waters low from drought. In the tanner's quarter, the stench of rotting fish and raw leather mingles with wood smoke. The city, strained by failed harvests and rising bread prices, remains unaware of the approaching madness. Dawn breaks over the cathedral spire, market vendors arrange their meager wares. Frau Trophäa, a washerwoman known for her reliability, makes her way through the square. The morning bells toll, and she stops suddenly. Her foot begins tapping against the ground, slowly at first, then faster. Her body sways, then twirls. The dance begins without music, without reason. Her basket crashes down, linens scattering in the dust. By midday, a crowd gathers. Trophäa dances with unnatural vigor, her movements a mixture of grace and desperation. Children point and laugh until their mothers hurry them away. The city guard watches uneasily. Hours pass. The sun arcs overhead. Trophäa dances on. Night falls. Torchlight casts wild shadows as her dance continues. Her feet leave bloody prints, shoes torn to shreds. Local physicians fail to restrain her. She dances through their hands, her face a mask of exhaustion and something else. Ecstasy or terror, none can tell. Dawn brings no relief. 3 women from the merchant quarter join her frenzied movement. Their skirts whirl as they spin, faces blank with the same strange compulsion. Within hours, the number doubles. A young baker abandons his ovens. A nobleman's daughter tears free from her escorts. The town council debates causes in their chamber. While below, the square fills with more dancers. Some blame poisoned rye bread. Others whisper of demonic possession. The guild masters demand action as their workers abandon shops to join the growing crowd. By week's end, 30 dancers become hundreds. The sound of stomping feet echoes through every street. Those who try to help often find themselves caught in the dance. A priest offering blessing begins to sway. A physician, checking a pulse, suddenly jerks into motion. The council's solution proves disastrous. They hire musicians, thinking structured dance might calm the frenzy. Instead, the music draws more into the plague. Every available bed fills with those who collapse from exhaustion, only to rise and dance again when strength returns. Monks work tirelessly in the monastery infirmary, recording their observations. Racing hearts, bleeding feet, the inexplicable compulsion to move. Some dance with broken ribs, others continue even as their feet fracture. The plague spreads beyond the central square. A cooper abandons his barrels mid-work. A seamstress drops her needle. Children break free from their mother's grasp, drawn by the irresistible urge to move. Ships on the Rhine pass without stopping, their captains fearful of the madness gripping Strasbourg. Noble houses bar their windows and bolt their doors. Yet even here the plague finds victims. A countess begins to dance at her dinner table, sending gilt plates crashing. Her servants join her until the entire household moves in an endless, exhausting ballet. Physicians try every remedy. They bleed the dancers, apply poultices, administer herbs. Nothing stops the movement. Some dance until their feet are raw meat, blood soaking through stockings. Others dance until their hearts burst, falling dead mid-step, only to be trampled by those still caught in the frenzy. As August burns into September, the city verges on collapse. Regular life ceases. The only commerce is in coffins and medical supplies. Priests process through streets with relics and holy water, but their prayers fall on deaf ears. The dancers continue their mad pavane day and night through sun and rain. Outlying villages feel the effects. Farmers refuse to bring produce to market. Food grows scarce. Those not caught in the dance barricade themselves in homes. The city guard maintains a perimeter around worst-affected areas, though some of their own succumb to the urge to dance. Archbishop Schwarmstadt orders continuous masses. Incense mingles with the stench of sweat and blood from the square below. Monks chant prayers that compete with the rhythm of countless stamping feet. Some claim to see demons dancing among the afflicted. Others swear the Virgin Mary weeps from her stone niche. The plague peaks as autumn approaches. More than 400 people dance in the streets. Death toll rises daily. Some succumb to exhaustion, others to injury, still others to trampling. Gravediggers work without rest, yet bodies pile faster than they can be buried. Then, mysteriously as it began, the dancing slows. Dancers stagger to a stop, confused and traumatized. Frau Trophäa collapses for the last time. She will never walk properly again. But she lives. More than can be said for many others. Autumn winds blow cold through Strasbourg's streets. The city tries to return to normal, but nothing will ever be the same. Bloodstains darken cobblestones. Families mourn their dead. Survivors avoid the square where madness began, crossing themselves as they hurry past. Many quit the city entirely, leaving empty houses as testament to their fear. Officials compile their grim records. The final death toll remains unknown. Some bodies were buried in mass graves, others carried away by relatives. The official documents offer no explanation for what possessed their city. Centuries later, historians still debate the cause. Mass hysteria from famine and hardship? Collective madness born of religious fervor? Effects of fungus-contaminated grain? The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's most bizarre enigmas, a reminder that sometimes the greatest horrors come not from outside forces, but from within the human psyche itself. Even today, on quiet nights when the moon is full, some say they hear the echo of dancing feet in Strasbourg's oldest streets. The cobblestones remember the rhythm of that terrible summer, when hundreds danced themselves to death, and a city learned just how fragile the bonds of civilization can be.
Bring it down,